I would say that almost all my life I'm in art. I grown up in artistic family. My dad is an artist, and I grown up actually. Okay, my mother also was working at that time, and I grown up after school always was spending my time in his art studio. And of course was among the different artists who were visiting him, and for me was really interesting to have a communication with artists of different ages, and of course mainly was the ages of my dad. But this is how it's happened, and of course with the collapse of Soviet Union, life was changing, and I have artistic background. I was also educated as an artist. Then we started to do international exhibition. The first international exhibition was in '90s when we did exhibition with a group of German artists. Then I traveled to Germany, did exhibition there. So this was my grown-up situation with not only local or post-Soviet Republic artists, but also the West European artists. And I was part of the team of biggest foundation in the country, Ederli Foundation, as an artistic advisor. And I curated for some years Azerbaijan National Pavilion there. But of course, when you're in art, you don't do only contemporary art. You do classical art, you do local, let's say, local masters art. And of course, you always try to collaborate. You collaborate your traditions, your artistic traditions with contemporary pieces to putting them together. And maybe that was a reason how I ended up here in the carpet, because, you know, when we talk about the carpet, of course, we always say it's our cultural heritage, which is true. It's a folk art, it's our history, but we don't want the carpet weaving, art of carpet weaving become as a history, and just we go to the museum and to show the people, yeah, this is what we have done for many centuries. We have to make it living. We have to make it not only it will be part of the yesterday and today, but also this tradition moves to the future and should be interested for everyone. So if we do change the way we dress, we don't dress how let's say grandparents used to dress. We dress contemporary, more modern. So that's why the carpet also should be modern. So this is how I ended up, I don't know, probably here. The situation is follows. We do with the carpet, we have studios just around the area which was just recently liberated. And just around there we have studios which were active, and they are still active. It's in Agdam, it's in Terter, in Horadiz, and we do have a weaving studios there active with our weavers who are originally from that part which is just liberated, and they all waiting when they will be able to move back to their villages and towns. And we all constantly talking to them, and they, as soon as they will be moved back, we are also looking forward to open the, maybe we start with the small studios at the beginning, but to make sure that Karabakh carpets will be weaved back in their motherland. Most important, of course, the designs of the Karabakh carpets are not forgotten. So even, let's say, in south of Azerbaijan now studios, we do weave the carpets from that region, but also we were continuing in the past years also weaving Karabakh carpets. And that was most important part, that it's not would become a history, because every Azerbaijani lived with the point that one day will come back. Of course, for the people who are sent away from there 30 years ago, and not even that, people who was born and grown up in Karabakh, but also people from other parts of the country. They were always waiting for that day will come, and we will come back to our motherland. It was not easy, but was most important, was idea behind it. Idea was maintaining it and make sure that we slightly not move to the history. We stay in the present. We stay at today, and what we are trying to do now, moving to the future. Thanks to her, just because of the first Vice President Mehriban Alieva, Azerbaijani carpet is a part of UNESCO heritage list. And this is very important because exactly that makes really foundation there, that Azerbaijani carpet, it's a huge long story of tradition. That's why when we re-established Azerkhalcha, even we changed our logo, and our slogan is the homeland of carpet weaving, because really this area is a homeland of carpet weaving. If we will look at the old master paintings, that's what we are doing now also. We want to create little movie, like presentation video. Old master paintings among different museums of the world. It's painting from 15th century, 16th century, 17th century. You can find in that paintings Azerbaijani carpets. And what does it mean? That of course Azerbaijan was part of the Silk Road. It means that piece of carpet is artistic piece which was purchased by the people, travelers, and then if it wouldn't be a lovely pieces of art, there wouldn't be definitely in old masterpieces, which are, this is what we're doing and doing with research, and we'll, probably with a great pleasure we'll be happy to, in the future, to show you which old masters, which museums that paintings exist, and we found our carpets part of that composition of the painting. I was surprised when I've started 3 years ago Azerkhalcha, that in different regions of Azerbaijan, we were not talking about only Karabakh, but Karabakh including Karabakh, there are villages, just distance between the villages maybe half a kilometer, 1 kilometer. And in one village, all women are doing a carpet weaving. The village around the corner, they're doing only agriculture, all women. So nobody, just walking distance, villages, but in that villages, for all traditions, the women were always in agriculture. In this village, it was a carpet weaving, and it is what we face. For example, sometimes in regions of Azerbaijan, even, like we get some women come to our studio, say, I would like to get a job here because I just got married, I moved with my husband here, but in this region, no, in my village, nobody weaves. I'm only one. So then I understood that there were villages. That's why in Karabakh, some of the carpets named by the name of the village, because in that village, all women were weaving the carpets, and there are carpets which are named by the village names. As you appreciate, Mr. President Ilham Aliyev announced Shusha as a cultural capital of Azerbaijan, which is fantastic, because that town is full of culture. When you walk there and you see the history, cultural history, and we also looking forward be back as Azerkhalcha there and open a studio there, because around Shusha was many carpets, many design carpets that were created around Shusha, and we're looking forward to be there also, because we believe also as Azerkhalcha that every visit of Shusha will be happy. I'm not talking about only the big pieces of carpet, but also some memory weaved there, because the woman who will be back, we're already also thinking how we can be back, and we already in contact with Mr. Rahman Haji, director of Karabakh Revival Foundation, that we maybe together and with their support we can start with a small studio where we can bring, when the families will be back, the life will be back. Of course, men will be occupied with different businesses, and for women, we're ready to move some of our teachers, even if maybe that younger generation, they lost it, but we're ready to teach them exactly in a way how all the Karabakh carpets have been knotted, because they are hand knotted. And this is way, the woman coming back, let's say, with her family, with her husband, kids, etc. Okay, husband will be working, kids will be, I don't know, in a school or something, but this way, she is becoming she integrates in society. She becomes part of the social life of a new reborn city. And this is how we see us as our culture, part of the cultural and economical boom of Karabakh. Our organization, yes, we do have, like say, babushkas who are 70 years old, but we have among our team a lot of weavers at 20 plus. And of course, and mid-generation, of course, around 40 years old weavers, and one of the weavers you saw in our showroom here, she's also a young woman, and she's coming from traditional weaver family. Unfortunately, she lost her mother, but her mother said to her, you can talk to her after our interview, her mother talked to her that, please, and she grown up as a weaver also. She said, don't sit at home, go to Azerkhalcha, apply and get the job. And this is how she came to us. It's interesting point that, for example, in other countries, I mean, carpet weaving countries, for example, we can say Pakistan, Iran, Afghanistan, India, where the carpet weaving tradition exists, the weavers are men and women, and dedushkas and babushkas. But in Azerbaijan, it's very interesting. Carpet weaving, it was fully woman job, and it's only female. For centuries they weaved. Of course, there are in an art academy you can find some male also students who learning, but then they never become a weaver. But it's very strange. But traditionally, only women weaves in Azerbaijan. Women have no passion, and because for the weaving of the carpet you need to be patient. You need to talk to the carpet because this is your colleague, this is your partner for the business, because carpet weaving takes you one carpet months. So this is who the weaver talks to on a daily basis. I have many carpets. I'm even buying in the auction houses when, okay, sometimes I cannot do it because the price goes really too high, but if not, then I definitely buy for my own collection. For example, I bought some years ago in auction house in Denmark, one Karabakh carpet, which is more than 100 years old, carpet called Gasimushari, and it sits in my house, and I love it. Thank you. It was probably weaved in one of the villages, and also in the Karabakh. Like we had for last 2 years, we had a collaboration and a project together with a very interesting and famous world famous carpet designer. He's German. He's from Germany. His name is Jan Kat, and you can check on him and Google him. By the magazine Architectural Digest magazine, last year he was top 100 designers of the world. We have invited him, and he accepted my invitation. Of course, it was just after pandemic. We were first on Zoom, etc. And we will come back to the beginning of our conversation. Now you will remember why. And he said, Emin, very interesting to talk to you. I'm really happy that we met you online, but maybe we meet in the future. But listen, I design my carpets based on traditional. I do contemporary pieces, but I'm fully okay. I have a place where I weave. I weave in India. I weave in Bangladesh, and I have thousands of people working for me there. But I don't know, maybe in the future. I said, but listen, during our conversation, how it's happened that you are a German man in the carpet? He said, you know, my grandfather started that, and he was a carpet trader. Then I moved from trading, purchasing and buying to my own production and my own design. And he said, and then I was a child, I was traveling with my dad to Iran and buying the carpets. And once we were by the Caspian Sea there in Iran, and my dad said, you know what is the real homeland of the carpets? Behind that water, behind the Caspian. And he said, I told my dad, why then we are not going there? He said, we cannot go there because they're from west part of the Germany. He said, because they're behind the Iron Curtain. And this clicked on me. I said, listen, it means your dad wanted to come. He said, yes. I said, why not you do that? And then you will be in your mind saying to your dad, you couldn't do it, but I did it. You wouldn't believe it? He traveled to Baku next week. And we have started the project on traditional Azerbaijani carpets, including Karabakh carpets, Baku carpets, Guba, Shirvan carpets, all different parts of the schools of Azerbaijani carpets. He designed it, contemporary pieces, and we weaved them for more than 1.5 years. 3 of our North studios were occupied with them. And they're in a world collection now, his world collection, under the name of Azerkhalcha. So I think that would be that interesting thing to talk, because this was an international and quite big collaboration.